you say is the hardest sport to win on?
Probably baseball.
Yeah.
And I love baseball, so I bet it daily, and it's not good for me anyway. I don't know if there's obviously people will probably crush baseball,
Right.
But baseball for me, the fact that it's every day is the problem for me because I'm like, oh, I could just bet I'd win my money back tomorrow. Like I don't really pick spots. It's the same team. They're playing 3 days in a row. You're like, you think you know a team, you think you know this, whatever.
But the thing that's whack about baseball from a betting standpoint for me is even if you bank on, like, say you bet the Angels, it's possible that Mike Trout just goes like 0 for 4. Otani goes 1 for 4 with a single.
That's,
Yeah, but if they're like a big favorite, remember a couple of years ago, the Dodgers were like minus 550 against the Marlins?
Yeah, probably.
And it was like the biggest underdog win in a regular season by a team. And like Kershaw was pitched. This might have been like 2018, 2019. I was like, dude, I think I might have tweeted out, like, I would bet that only because it's such a historic, like, it's such a lopsided number. I think Kershaw got pulled in like the 4th inning too.
Yo, if you lay that money on a baseball game,
it's absurd. I would bet the series. Like I'd bet like, there's a 3-game series. Yankees, Red Sox. Yanks need to win, need to win the series in order to make the play. Like shit like that, maybe I'll dabble in. But man, remember that one year I called Giancarlo Stanton to be MVP?
Yeah. I do remember that.
Wow, it was like 50 to 1. Didn't bet
I had
it,
the Indians before the playoffs. When the Cubs won, was it 17 or 18?
Yeah.
They were 3-1, bro, and I was like, they were like 9-1. It was when the playoffs started, so it was still a nice number, but it wasn't that crazy. And I was like, yo, this is great. I think they were a wild card team, or like they were the worst division winner, so they were decent odds, Well,
but you have my
so happy and fucking 3-1.
My favorite betting story of all time is the 1:30 text about AJ Pollack breaking his hand.
Oh, yeah, 1:30 a.m.
Man, we tell that story all the time, but it's such a classic, and there's new people that have tuned into the show.
Yeah.
Let's run it again.
Yeah, AJ Pollack, it was like the last.
He had just won the hit title.
Yeah.
Right?
He had a monster year for the Diamondbacks.
And then in spring training, slides like into second.
It was like the last game or like the last week of spring training. It was like the end of March. So the season was starting a couple of days from then. And yeah, the news broke at like 1:30 a.m. that he broke his hand, and back then we were gambling on offshore, so they still had the lines up. It was like 200 hits, and he was gonna miss 60 games at least with a broken hand. No way you're getting 200 hits. So I hit you up. I was like, yo, under max bet.
Yeah, that's free money.
Yeah. It took like 8 months, but it hit.
Yeah, bro, that was hilarious, dude. I'll never forget that shit. You're like, yo, bro, mad random, but AJ Pollack just broke his hand.
Yeah, because it is random because you have no idea who that was, probably.
Yeah.
It's like, I
was like,
what the fuck are you talking about? AJ Pollack at 1:30
like, yo,
in the morning.
he just set like a personal career high in hits, broke his hand. Bet that shit.
And 200 hits is like, it was like, might have been like 190 because 200, whatever, 190, 200, that's still like a fantastic year. That's 300, so you got to be like playing a full 162 to get 200 hits, and there was no chance. He was going to miss at least a month or 2 months.
Yeah, I feel like NBA is really hard to bet on.
See, I don't watch NBA, so I don't dabble in NBA
But even
much.
if you watch, though, there's so much shit that's out of your control, like a late scratch.
That happened to me yesterday with NHL. This goalie, they changed the goal. Yeah, they announced
so
the goalie wasn't
frustrating,
going to play.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
That's it's hard. Sometimes you're like, oh, this is good value. Like that was me. I was like, yo, the Highlanders, they played last night. They lost their best player, and the Ducks, they've been resting, and they're struggling, but it's a pick 'em, and they're at home. I was like, fuck it, I'll take a shot, and they wound up losing. But yeah, it's hard, especially like you said, NBA. NBA only I take advice from Josh. Shout out to Josh.
Mm-hmm. The NBA GOAT.
I don't unprovoked. He'll text me. He's like, "Yo, look at this." I'm like, all right, I played it.
Yeah, I'm in a group chat with him. I don't get those fucking texts.
Yo, he hit one plus 800 parlay yesterday.
He love it.
I tipped him my wager. I was like, yo, good looks.